Hey there guys, welcome to Pixelescope. Today we're gonna do breakdown of a 2D 3D animation I did few days earlier. It was done in Blender and Krita. I'll show you how I set my scene up before going to 2D, and then I'll show you how I did the 2D part. So let's get started and get straight to Blender. So I have opened up Blender, and as you can see there is an armature animation about dwelling of spells. So he's dodging some and then casting some. So the spells, they look like electric zaps and they emit light. That's why I made some placeholder of the spells using point lights. So I animated them and keyframed its strength so that it looks like it is cast from an opponent, and then he dodges it and then it is turned off. So that's how it is done. So notice that here its strength is 1000 and it is lighting up the character, but as soon as he hits the target, even before actually he hits the target, its strength gets lower and lower and then it's 0. But I have not done it suddenly 0 because then it would be abrupt. So basically this is for lighting purpose, and this will just give us the lighting information that we need. Otherwise we would have to draw everything in Krita. So we can just concentrate on the spell part. So this is my first one, then the second, then third. So as you can see, I have animated the spell according to my hand gesture. So this is first one, second one, and third one. And then this is his casting one. So once he reaches this area, then its strength goes up. Before that it is 0. So then again, when he is done with casting his spell, it goes to 0 again. And then there's another, which is a little fiery thing on his hand. It is parented using a child of constraint with his arm. So you can see this here, child of constraint. Basically if my arm moves, this also moves. So it's a mixed shader between two emission types. So I have done this like its strength is at first 0, then it goes up, then it's gone to a level, then the wand makes it go more yellowish. So that's how it's done. Alright, so this is our 3D part. So after you have done setting up all the prerequisites in Blender, then you're good to go. You can just render the scene out and then go to Krita and import all the frames, and then you have to paint over them. Alright, so this was done in 30 fps because I had to capture the reference videos in my phone, which does only in 30 fps. So if you guys know any application that captures in 24 fps in phone, then please let me know in the comment section, because 30 fps is a lot of work. 6 frames extra for every second, that's no joke. So let's get straight to Krita because I have every scenes rendered. Alright, so I have fired up Krita, and before creating a new document, you should know that it is highly recommended to create a new document according to the resolution of your rendered frames. So my render frame, these are my rendered frames. I have done this in cycles. So it's a 720p clip, so I have to do it accordingly. 1280 720. So this has a gray background because in my create new configuration I have set it up because the white ones the glare is too much, but that should not be a problem because these are not transparent. Alright, okay, so I have to now import this. So now go to file, then import animation frames. There are some settings, so you can add images. So I have to go to that folder, sequence, HP, yeah, all of them. So I've just clicked Ctrl and A to select all of them, and then I opened. So I am starting from 1, and the source FPS is showing 24, but it's not 24. We can change this in this frame rate. So now if we click OK, then the images are being loaded. So now all the frames are loaded, but you may be wondering, and if you have done accordingly what I just have done, you should also have the same situation. But here's the case. I selected starting from 1, and here we are at the 0th frame. So if I go to 1, then there it is, our frame. I usually like to start from 1 because that's what it is in Blender and in every other programs. So starting from 0, it's a lot of calculation. I don't want to indulge in that. So just go here and click on the 1, then it will always start from 1 and end at now 100, but I have 340 frames. So all of them are there, but we don't need all of that because every time it will create the new cache and everything. So we'll just need up to our working areas. So we'll start with the first spell, and then it's the same process in every situation. Alright, so let's start from 1 and go to 100. Alright, now notice one thing. I have set up a keyboard shortcut to go forward in frames. You can also set this up in configuration. So as you can see, here it is, our effect which I was talking about in Blender, and as soon as it hits the spell, it goes off. So that's a dodge. Alright, so the first one is finished at about 60. So 60 it is. Now I have to increase the frame rate too. Alright, now that's more like it. So let's get down to the real business. So at first I'll create a new layer. So you can do it from here, but it's recommended that you do it from here. Alright, now that our new layer is created, by the way, I will use keyboard shortcut. You can assign them in your configuration of Krita. And now I'll go to the place at where it is hit. Okay, and I'll take the smooth brush, the airbrush, to sketch out my area, the area the spell goes through, and then I have to define the moment of impact, at which frame the impact is done. So this is the frame I think the impact is done, because here the light is most intense. So I'll create a new frame here. So this is the first time I will create the frame using the right clicking and just selecting create frame, but from next time I will use my keyboard shortcut. So I'll just get down the opacity and then turn off the stabilizer, and then I have to select the color accordingly. So it's a blue spell, so I have to select a blue color. So you have to predict, or you have to fix the color while you are setting up the light in Blender. So now this is a key position, and this is a spell, so it's hit right here. Okay, now you have to do some, what can I say, at first you have to do the key areas, the keyframes, so that you can assume the speed without going to the breakdowns. So this is my key, the key position. This is a starting frame. Sorry, I have to create a frame at first. So I have set up my keyboard shortcut Ctrl Shift and Q. You can do this do that in configuration of Krita. It's really effective. So let's start from the first. So I think it's really slow at this moment. So you can just hold and drag. Sorry, yeah. Again. So it's slightly faster right now. So what I can do now, I can do the middle part or the passing position of this spell. So I'm creating a new frame and I am turning on my onion skin. Yeah. So the red one is the previous and the blue one is the forward. It's not really fancy and not really great for viewing your previous and next iteration, next frames, but it gets the job done. Usually I do animation using black and white, that's why this type of color is there. So that's where I'll do the middle one. So next I'll turn off this and then so if you are happy with the speed, then you can go to further breakdowns. But if you are not, and then another thing, it is recommended that you do these breakpoints three places apart, because then you can just do this you can get the middle anywhere. So if this is not here and here, then you have these two breakdowns and you cannot decide what will be the position of the breakdowns or the in-betweens. So it is recommended that you do it in three places apart, but it is not possible every time. Okay, so I'll make it here. So this is my middle place for this, and then Then I have created another, and this is for this. Okay, so it is also recommended that you turn off this onion skin while you check out the render or the animation, because it is on while being animated, so it will not let you see the actual speed or anything. So there's, I think the speed is really slow, and I'll just make it half. Let's see how it turns out. Yeah, I think that's more like it. So you have to always check your animation by playing back, and so that you don't do extra efforts, because in the previous case, if I hadn't checked my animation, then I would have done all the in-betweens, and then I discover that, oh my god, my animation is too slow, then I had to delete the extra frames, so that's not really efficient. So in the next frame, I will again in 3 places apart, I'll draw some after shot. No, that's not the term. Okay, so it is the end of the spell, and here it goes. It's the middle of the spell. Let's turn on. Okay, so let's give a impact. This is the tail of the spell, and at this moment almost everything is lit up at this point. Okay, so let's try this. So you can see how the scene is being built up bit by bit. Okay, so let's break this down. I think the speed is okay. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I can see the differences of this blue and red lights that is denoted by the previous and next frame. It's really subtle and it's really hard to see. I can see them. Oh no, this is a problem in Krita. Sometime after drawing something, the control and plus with which I zoom in, it doesn't work. It always pick the color at first. So I'll just pick the color from here and make it a bit lighter, so it may not match, but it's a tutorial. Alright, this was the frame. It was my next one. So this was the blast moment. It's just the basic bare bone to get the hang of the speed. Now it's this is between a vanishing moment, not vanishing point. That's an entirely different thing, and the last one. So I'll just show you the might of gravity, I guess. It will be more faded and all. So there you go. So turning off the onion skin, and let's go. Yeah. So this is the first piece of the puzzle. It is puzzling. Yeah. So you can see how it is made. Now we have to work on this. So this is just a bare bone, and I have to add the zap effect. So again start. Sorry, I think the auto save is in function. Oh god. Yeah. So alright, so this is a zap moment, and for that I'll just pick a brush which is suitable for that moment. I used a pencil brush, I guess. No, it's not. Again, no, I guess this one. Yeah. So the trick is you have to make this in the mode in color dodge. Okay, and then opacity down. It was way too down. This is your zap. No, it's too straight, I think. So let's just do a bit zigzag. Let's branch out some. Alright. So let's go to the previous one. Okay. So now I have to extend the onion skin in order to view all the frames. So it is. And this is my place. So usually, in my case, I had started a frame, some frames later than the base or the smoke. So I think it will work. Yeah, it does. So this is my starting point. And let's just follow this. Yeah. So this is the mid, and it will be my breakdown. All right. Sorry, I had accidentally created a new frame, which I shouldn't have, because already there is a new frame. There is a frame, existing frame, but it was a habit, I guess. So that's about it. So let's test this. Yeah, that's how it's done almost. Now the zap moment will have some really bright glare. So it should get the color dodge. this color picking thing really bugs me. So the blast is almost off, but I'm making some residues. There are some bandings. I don't know why it happens. It happens in Krita. So guys, I at first should do the normal one, which I didn't do. How did I miss that? Anyway, it is doing the, yeah, this one is doing this thing. Alright, I have to fix that. So yeah, that's how I did this. But this now has some really bad, I don't know how I made that. Alright, so let's just create a new layer, because I cannot apparently make anything at this layer. No, not gonna work. No. Let's just make another layer and just make for only that frame in that layer. Okay, let's just create a frame. I think this layer should go down the upper layer. Okay. So I'm changing the onion skin, and I'll only make the smoke here. Man, why this smoke is not working? I think I'm doing something wrong. Let's try it on this layer. Yeah, it works. I definitely did something wrong. The bending was also too much. Yeah. So now that we have done this, let's just create this. Let's just use the layer 5, our floor layer, because light should also get here, right? Okay. So this is our key point. So let's start from the key point. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll just follow the light. Follow the light. it's more intense here and here as well. So I'm just following all these lights, and that's how it's done. So let's fire up the play button. So as you can see, the lighting is also done. So that's how I did all the animations, all the spells. That's the process, the repetitive process for the spell. And I did some swinging thing with the wand also. I'll show you now. So let's create the trail of the wand. So it's usually used to denote the spade. So I'll just create a new layer here, and you have to follow the path in order to get the gist and how the path goes, the wand goes. So it goes like this. So I'll draw accordingly. So I am using this brush. I have to make some adjustment. And then the flow as well. Yeah. So frustrating. Sorry for being so late. Okay, let's just, yeah. So start from here. Then create a onion skin. Yeah, there are some bugs in Krita regarding animations, so you'll get to know once you use them. It's not really intrusive, but it's really annoying sometimes. So you can see how I am following the trail. Ending it. So this is the start, then it goes from here to here. Then to here. Sorry, I have to make the canvas rotate in order to get better handling. It's really tricky to use the small Wacom in a 21-inch screen. It's good for laptop though. I really need to get a medium one. So let's just test this. Yeah, it's done. So that's how the trail works. So that was the breakdown of the 2D 3D combo animation. I hope you liked it. So share it with your friends, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any new upload from my channel. So that's it for today guys. I'll see you in the next one.